Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Tonight, our tidbit, telling you the story of my very first transaction because, man, it has ups and downs. It goes all over the place. So, figure it's about time I tell you that first story. Got my license in 2007, right at the fall of the market. And, you know, we knew the market was adjusting, but nobody knew to what extent it's adjusting. So, worked really hard, and my parents lived in Peoria. I was marketing all over my neighborhood, my parents' neighborhood, knocking on doors, through newsletters, mailers, everything I possibly could to drum up my first client. So, the house on the corner, about 4 houses up from my parents, they get in touch with me. And they want me to, come do a listing, a presentation to list their home. So I get a hold of my broker, try to figure out what we can do for comps. I get a hold of my broker friends, get their opinion. Sorry, it's really dark right here. Take a light out. And there's a light from the parking lot. So get the comps ready, I get my booklets ready, I get my cards, I just over-prepared every which way from Sunday. But here's what I think was key. I also anticipated the sale. So, had I ever filled out a listing contract before? Nope. Did I fill one out the best I could that night, thinking I was gonna get that listing? Darn tootin', right? So, filled it out, had everything ready. So, give him my presentation, give him my comps, and do exactly what I was told in the Floyd Wickman course. Had the contract, kind of slid it over. I'm like, so, what do you think? We're gonna do this? And he thinks it over for a few minutes. And didn't say a word. Him and his wife look at me. Okay, let's do it. So, I list their home. $319,000. My very first listing, Prudential American Associates Real Estate at that point in time. So excited. It took me approximately 6 months to get that listing, to get my first listing. And oh man, you have no idea. My then wife and I, we went out that night, even though I hadn't made any money whatsoever. I knew I was gonna sell it fast, so we went out for a nice steak dinner and we celebrated. So, get the paperwork together, boom, submit it. My broker yells at me every which way from Sunday because I think I made every error imaginable, including using an EA instead of an ER. I knew it was important. We used one of them, just didn't know which one. So, anyway. Finally got all that stuff fixed, got the sign put up, and start holding open house after open house after open house this listing. Every weekend I was there. Neighbors knew me pretty well. It's kind of cool. They actually had a pool table in their front yard, their living room. So at least we got to have some fun on the downtime. They let me make coffee whenever I wanted. So, I was in heaven during the downtimes, but held open after open after open, and next thing you know, I'm like, man, something's wrong here. My very first listing, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. So talked to my friends, my broker friends. Fortunately, I had a really good friend named Stacy Priest, who's an amazing broker, and she was guiding me kind of through the thing behind the scenes with my office manager. And she said, well, why don't you do a price reduction? So, okay, let me see what I can do. So talked to the owners, did a price drop. I think it went from 319 to 309. Okay, let's just kind of fast forward a little bit here. 2 weeks later, another price drop, 309 to 299. And then a few weeks later, 299 to 289. And I think we went to like 284.5, 279. And then that's when the questions started to rise. Josh, we can't go anymore. So we did price drop after price drop, and eventually, right around, I think it was the 279 mark, they're like, Josh, we can't go any lower, we're not going to make any money, and that's not going to work for us. You know, we can't sell it for less than what we owe, obviously. And it's like, okay, shoot, let me see what I can do. So of course, go to all my people again. You know, Stacy, Sandra, my broker, talk to them, ask them, you know, everything. About a couple weeks later, I was at church, and that's how I actually knew Stacy, was that she went to the church my dad pastored, and she's like, "Hey Josh, have you heard of a short sale?" It's like, no. She's like, "Well, you know, we were talking, and you said that they couldn't go any lower, so there's a thing called a short sale now because there's a lot of people having to sell their home for less than what they actually owe on it. So you might want to see about that." Okay. So start doing some research, found out, you know, who they had for their bank, and started just trying to fill the process out. Start calling their bank, find out I need to get, you know, permission. Went back to them, went for permission, got a letter signed, started being able to talk to them, you know, found out about the financials, went through that. I mean, this is, you know, I think by this point in time, it's maybe end of 2007, beginning of 2008. And might have been a little bit later on in that. I don't know, my time was kind of messed up. But anyway, I'm calling the bank. And, you know, they say, well, submit this and then call us back. So I submit it and call them back. They're like, well, we haven't received it. So then you resubmit it. They're like, well, still haven't received it. And, you know, start going, just getting frustrated and mad. Well, as time goes on, we're going to fast forward just a little bit. This was standard short sale process, only very early on. This was before they had hardship packets and letters and all that good fun. So what that boiled down to was we were learning our way through the short sale process with no guidance, no groundwork, no people paving the way ahead. We just had problems, clients that needed to sell their home, and so we sold it. And, you know, we did everything we needed to. So finding out how to do a short sale was just it. So anyway, packet after packet, financials after financials, month after month, following up after following up. I won't give away the bank that this was with, but hate to say it, after about a year and a half, they foreclosed on the owner. And my very first sale, my very first listing, ended up not being a sale, ended up not being anything, and turned into a big learning lesson because I learned how to do short sales, kind of. Well, simultaneously behind the scenes, I was getting other listings, and very quickly behind that first listing, I got my second listing. And that one turned into a short sale as well, but this time, this was our second one, and we knew what we needed, we knew when we needed it, we knew how to follow up, and we knew exactly what to expect, we knew what to teach our clients to expect. And this one turned into a success. And I feel bad, but realistically, there was no way of knowing, because at that point in time, especially with short sales, a lot of them did get declined, and they would just run out of time, especially if there was a second, which there was a second involved with this one. So yeah, that's a detail too. First short sale wasn't just a first, it was a first and a second. So learned how to kind of negotiate seconds as well. I mean, such a valuable lesson. So, was it a successful sale? No. Was it a successful transaction and learning lesson? Absolutely. So, that was my first listing, guys. Hope you enjoyed that story. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what your first listing was. Did it sell? How long did it take to sell? And what kind of doors were open because of that? Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later.